Welcome to Rappahannock Issues. I'm Tom Cohen.
And I'm David Kerr.
And we're going to be looking at topics that are of interest to our community, both regionally and to the state.
Hello, I'm David Kerr, and welcome to Rappahannock Issues. I'm here today with Charles Payne, and he's going to be a part of our series talking about development in the Stafford, Spotsylvania, Fredericksburg region. Right. And we're going to be focusing today on George Washington Village. Charles is an attorney representing, attorney with Herschler Fleischer. He is representing the George Washington Village developer Augustine South Associates.
Correct.
And Charles is going to be talking to us a little about the George Washington Village, the scope of the project, and the plans associated with it. Just as to get us started, Charles, can you give me an overview of what's involved in the George Washington Village proposal, how big it is, how many homes, and some of the timing involved?
Right. Well, David, first, thank you very much for having us here. It's always a pleasure to be able to present these type of projects to our community. One of the interesting things when you have these large projects that are unique opportunities for the Fredericksburg region, you always like to be able to get it out before you get to the public hearing process. You'd like to be very transparent about what we're doing. I think in the past there's been some anti-growth issues regarding, hey, you know, the developer's hiding the ball, and we want to make sure that we're actually being very transparent, and why this is so important to our community. Because many times everyone thinks the developer is the only one being enriched by a project like this. When you bring forward a project like George Washington Village, you're really changing the whole dynamic of what Stafford County is, in my opinion, and what its future is going to be for investment. And with that, you may or may not know this, but I was born and raised in Stafford County. My family has been there since the 1700s from a little place called the Falmouth Village.
I've heard of it.
My dad was a former board of supervisor in Stafford County, so my heart is in Stafford County, and there's no doubt about it. So a project like this I see as a unique opportunity. To get to some of your questions, this project is a mixed-use project. It is under the county's PTND, which is Planned Traditional Neighborhood Development. It is also located within one of the county's UDAs, which is a large growth area, if you will, within the county and consistent with this comprehensive plan. Mm-hmm. The particular comprehensive plan for this project is located, and it's called George Washington Village, by the way, is located at the intersection of I-95 interchange and Route 630. So west of that is where the project would begin, and it would run south all the way to Ramouth Church Road, and it includes about 1,100 acres. So this is a big project. We're planning about 2,957 specifically residential housing units. We're also planning about 1.8 million commercial space. So this is truly going to be a town center mixed-use development. And what does that mean for Stafford County? It doesn't have one. If you think about what's happening along the I-95 corridor, you've got Potomac Mills, you've got Stonebridge in Prince William County. Of course, Tyson's Corner has its mixed-use projects. And what we don't have in Stafford County is we don't have that type of synergy project, if you will, that would attract commercial development. Stafford County is, to its benefit at some times and to its detriment at others, a bedroom community of Northern Virginia. It wants to be more of an employment center. It wants to be more of a commercial center. If you just look over the past 14 years at Stafford County's revenue generation from a residential and commercial comparison, residents are paying the bulk load, over 80% of the taxes in Stafford County. Commercial, albeit trying to get along in Stafford County, trying to pick up, is only carrying at times either 11 to 18% during that period of time. So that's a huge disparity that needs to be corrected. And the only way to do that is, in our opinion, create a center, create a civic, cultural, business center in Stafford County to attract these type of investments that we want for our community. We're also seeing that today, buyers and future buyers, we believe, they don't want to get in their car to drive to the grocery store. They don't want to get in their car to go to a retail store, to go eat at a restaurant. They want a community where they can exercise, where they have recreational opportunities, and community centers like pools and workout areas. Especially for commuters who are on the road all day long, in which we know in Stafford being one of the longest commutes in the Commonwealth of Virginia, which means it's one of the longest commutes in the country. So we want to build that center for Stafford County residents. We think now with the growth that's happening on Route 630, with the synergy that's occurring there, with the disposable incomes that are occurring there, the average home on that corridor is over $350,000. And the folks who are moving in are looking for smaller lots and quality homes, and they have disposable income. So this is a key ingredient, we think, to now is the time to put this kind of project together. You also need to remember that my client has been planning this for 20 years. He's owned a lot of these parcels that he's accumulated, and this is very unique because you've got one owner who's accumulated over 1,000 acres of land for this type of project. And that is unique because now the planning for that, it can be well long-termed. It can be consistent with the county's comprehensive plan. It can be consistent with the county's utility plan and its infrastructure plan, which I know we'll get to as we move forward. But to me, this is a unique opportunity for Stafford County. It's a unique opportunity for the region. And I truly believe Legoland would be here today if this project was there. Again, if you think about Stafford, where is its center? Where is its commercial center? Where is its cultural center? The center of the region has been for well over 300 years the city of Fredericksburg. It's been its commerce center at Falmouth. Back in the day, we're early on, but basically it has been the city of Fredericksburg. That dynamic needs to change because most of the high income levels are on the outer skirts of the city. So Stafford County and Spotsylvania County both have a unique opportunity to change that whole dynamic and to increase its commercial development opportunities.
One thing I'd ask as a follow-up before we go to the break, there's a lot of development along the I-95 corridor, thousands of homes really, okay. And you're working on a couple of those major developments yourself. This has been a change from just after the Great Recession with more builders taking an interest again in the I-95 corridor. Are you worried about the prospect of there being too many homes being built, that this won't be as easy to sell because simply we could have a saturation of demand, or do you see the demand there?
Well, we see the demand there. Obviously, we wouldn't be here, and you didn't have the nationals and the local builders, et cetera, very interested in that demographic and that growth, that potential growth change. You're also seeing a transformation, if you will, or a migration, if you will, of individuals who are, because of what's happening at Fort Belvoir with BRAC realignment, what's happening at Quantico. You're seeing folks wanting to come further south. It's a reverse commute for them, and you're also seeing what we think is very, very interesting is just a elimination of wanting to get in their car and drive north. So if we can attract those employment centers to us, you're going to see a completely different dynamic and really interesting new homes being sold in Stafford County. Most of them are being sold to current residents or local individuals who are looking to upgrade their homes and who have, because of the recession, have been able to get out of the debt that I would say they're underwater, if you will, and their other homes are able to sell those homes and now move into better, higher quality homes. And let's not forget, folks want to move back to our community, go to college, who are grandchildren and our children who are looking to come back, and we want to give them an environment, quality homes, quality potential job opportunities in which to move back.
We're talking to Charlie Payne, and we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in just a moment.